All right, YouTube. Been a long time. I am going to talk about a few things here. Mistakes, probably. I put neatsfoot oil on my jacket. Well, that stuff smells. So I tumbled into my tumbler, and that seemed to help a bit, but word to the wise, don't use neatsfoot oil on your leather jacket. And then I stretched out some of these hides that were in the barrels over a year just to dry them out. Some of these have been bark tanned, some are just maybe pickled. And then I was going to say, if you salt them before you flesh them and such, you can get by with not fleshing them very good, which I don't do very good anymore because I'm old and lazy. But you can see some of the fat left on this one here. But if you don't get rid of don't salt them to get rid of the natural animal moisture, you're gonna end up grease burning them. My brother and I learned that a long time ago with some deer skins. So anyways, I'm gonna stretch these out on these frames that are, I believe, 4 foot that way by about 6-7 feet this way. And I'll punch holes in with this knife, and that's with this knife. That's how I stretch these out. And I was tanning my furs, all my furs with what was it called? I'll go look. Curatan, that's what it is. Curatan, where you just smear it on the outside of the flesh side of the skin. And here's one that's tanned and everything that was in the tanning solution for over a year. There's my skunk skin parka or poncho. And then, well, I try to make a hat out of it. Well, I have too much on it, so then I got to wash it out, the oil or something, so it isn't so oily. So I put it on maybe too thick. And these are some that probably were pickled. And as you can see, there's a lot of flesh left on them, but it's more forgiving if you salt them before you flesh them and then soak them in solutions. So these are probably pickled or probably dehaired. And another thing is, I'm not a purist. These are not deer skins. These are all sheep skins. The reason being is because I raise sheep to butcher every year. So I think last year I had 5. This year we only got 4. But sheepskins, for the most part, are skinned out by professionals, unless they don't care. But for the most time, for right now, sheepskins are worthless. Whereas your deer skins, the Lions Club and all these other people are buying them, and Grunwald's giving you mittens for them, and so you might have a hard time finding deer skins. Here are some of my paintings I did off my grandpa's photographs. Some off of that one off my own photograph. That one's off of an Alaskan artist. These were when I was up in Alaska. That one's an Alaska artist. Some of these are photographs. Anyways, oh, and then to clean up my old traps, I buy gallons of this Great Value white vinegar from Walmart. And I also up the pH, and after I've dehaired, I up the pH with vinegar like that in my solution. That, you know, for tanning purposes or whatever, you got to re-up the solution or re-up the pH up to neutral of 7. When you use the pickling solution, or not the pickling, dehairing solution, then it drops it down to 12. Now, I said you could use fertilizer or something like that, but I can't find any fertilizer in this area. So I have to use Van Dyke's calcium hydroxide for dehairing. And I just saw a woman who tans hides and stuff, and she uses, she went to the grocery store and got it for, I don't know, for pickling or whatever. Anyways, in these, if you get it from, you get a kit from Van Dyke's, and then you'll get other chemicals to bring the pH back up and to stop the lime action. I'm not going to go through that now, but I was just thought I'd tell you. Anyways, back over here. Hope I ain't making you dizzy. When I do these, stretch these things on a frame, I got some big round bale twines, and I stretch them out at double arm length, like this here. You know, stretch them out in front of me like this, so that's a little longer the twines are. And I tie them together when I get them stretched around. And I might even, if you're lucky, I'll take a picture or show you what it looks like when it's after it's stretched. So there you go. This is the first video from a long time, so anyways, oh yeah, I'm going to show you some of these fake antlers I made too, from a mold of the bigger one up there. And the mold is it's laying over there underneath a bunch of pans, but here's two of them that I made with that mold. There's one, there's two. So anyways, there's my video for right now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.